Certifiably, undeniably, stupid.
That stuff that we try when we're down in Disneyland. There's that where were we? Ballast Brewing?
Ballast Brewing? Oh yeah, that's like a massive. Yeah.
They just had smaller.
Where I got my Tinder thing from.
Yeah,
I just got Bumble again.
Yeah.
And I did it. You want to hear what it is?
Sure.
It's not exactly what.
Cause we were down in Disneyland. We couldn't get a fucking beer inside Disneyland because we didn't have our passports with us.
Right.
So we just left and we went down to downtown Disney and they accepted our driver's license. Like, we're fucking, drinking out here. So we had dinner and a couple of drinks out there and it was all craft stuff. And we're just reading through the descriptions of it. I'm like, that is a perfect dating profile. Really?
Yeah. So I'm not going to read what the original thing was on the menu, but this is what mine is. I'm like a craft beer, spiced, bright, colored, and well balanced. If you enjoy a well-made cocktail, we'll get along.
Like, how perfect is that?
Wow. That was like somewhat the description for
of a beer.
craft
And
beer.
I showed him, like, dude, look, this
Spiced,
is me.
well balanced.
Spiced, well balanced. I added the colored part. But yeah, that was a dope little spot too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back to
California.
Well,
Yeah.
after this whole
After this,
shit.
yeah, after the apocalypse.
I was just thinking, if you do your collab, it's Cross Mount. And if you go with someone else and you just call it CrossFit.
CrossFit? Who would I? Maybe.
I don't know who the brewer would be, but
I kind of wanted to partner with 9 Mile.
yeah.
I haven't asked them about this yet. I'm just saying, but I think just
My-
because,
my original idea for a name was Sexy Slut.
Sexy Slut? Yeah, that'll go over pretty well.
I'm just trying to think of stupid. It was
Yeah.
part of our Fat Fuck delivery
Oh, right.
collab with Sexy Slut beers.
Could you actually call a company that? Fat Fuck Delivery?
Ooh, I mean, you
'cause
probably
there's a-
could, but
there's
it's
this-
just because of how obscene it is. Not a lot of people would like it. I don't know.
And you couldn't advertise, I don't think.
Yeah, on the radios and stuff like that, you couldn't.
Also,
That's
there's
where you get all the attention from.
the Canada is. I'm sure there's like a business regulations or something.
Probably.
There's a skateboard company called Fucking Awesome.
In like the States or
Yeah. Well, I mean, they sell everywhere, but they're an actual company. You can go to fuckingawesome.com.
fucking awesome.
Yeah. Or they're called Hockey, one of the two. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay. I'm trying to think because I know they've gotten a lot looser on the radio. Okay, I've heard shit on the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
Our radio?
Yeah.
Really? What was the context?
I think maybe something like "holy shit" or something like that. Oh man, it was, or like songs where there would be a swear as part of the song, and normally they used to bleep it out, and I think they've just gotten a lot more lax on stuff.
Yeah, they bleep even the names of drugs, hey?
Really?
Yeah.
like Xanax and.
Yeah, cocaine, weed. Nah, weed? Probably.
Actually, I think they used to do weed. Yeah, I've heard one where they bleep weed, and it's like, what the fuck? But I'm trying to think. My mom's favorite, Headstones.
Headstones?
It's a band, and then Tweeter and the Monkey Man. It's Tweeter and the Monkey Man. We're hard up for cash. Da-na-na-na, selling cocaine and hash. And they played that song on the radio like back in the 80s, 90s. I don't think they bleeped that.
Huh. Well, that's 80s and 90s. A little different.
Yeah.
Back when people were cool.
Yeah. Or you could say darkies.
Woo.
Not anymore, though.
Not anymore. Now we just call them
On
liberals.
ungoverned media, you can say it. Like this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is free. Freedom. Self-censorship, though. What about, I was thinking Cold Hearted Bitch. I don't know if they ever censored that one.
Who sings that?
The Trues?
No. It's a newer band.
All right,
I've got
we
it on my
have.
phone. Or you can search.
You have the
up,
power of the intranet.
I know, but like I like trying to figure things out before.
It was a newer band. Not newer, but not that old. I got nothing in my head. Jet.
Apparently, it's by Jet.
It's probably the only song I'd know by them.
Jet also does.
They're not a newer band.
Jet
Not
also
newer,
does.
but not 80s. That's what I was
Are you
thinking.
going to be my girl?
Oh fuck, you're right. They
It is
have a
Jet.
few hits. So I was driving with a distributor, and he put on, I think he was putting on Beatles at the time, and I was like, he's like, oh, you know the Beatles. I'm like, I've heard a few of their hits. Like, I don't listen to them or anything. He's like, oh, no, you know this one. And I start listening to it. He's like, come on, dude, you have to know this one. I'm like, well, just wait for the chorus. He's like, no, dude, you can't figure it out right now. I'm like, wait for the fucking chorus, dude.
Yeah.
That's how I know most songs.
Did you know the
What song
chorus?
was it?
I knew a couple of them. Like, I knew, like, obviously, Hey Jude. Pretty much any of the ones from that movie, Across the Universe.
Yeah.
Like, those were the big...
Those were the big ones,
The
yeah.
big Beatle hits. And then he played a couple of their hits that he knew. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And they started playing Elvis Presley. And I realized I know no Elvis Presley songs.
Heartbreak Hotel. That's the song,
Blue,
right?
yeah. Blue Suede Shoes.
I don't listen to.
Uh,
That was one of those where I was like, oh, I'm sure I'd know the hits. And
I
started
Can't
playing hits.
Help Falling in Love with You.
Probably not.
Yeah.
They don't even play them on the radio.
I really do like the sort of like the old school
Really?
music. Yeah, Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin.
Really?
Yeah,
So classy.
it's weird. I have very eclectic taste. I go from like K-pop to the old classic blues, to modern rock, 90s punk rock, Japanese kawaii metal.
It kind of just sounds like mental illness to me.
It's called feeling the rhythm.
I'm just kidding.
Any good beat.
Bit of electronica here and there.
Do you like country?
I tolerate it.
So you don't like it? You'll never listen to it on your own.
There's maybe a couple of songs I'd listen that I'd say are very country, because a lot of the
Red
old
Solo Cup.
yeah, a lot of the old like,
Did you hear that?
it was a bit of a weird, yeah.
It's the not wind.
Hmm?
The not wind.
Yeah, what is it? A lot of the old school rock guys would be like southern rock, and then a lot of their songs would be very country too, like Leonard Skinner.
That's country?
It's like country rock. There's certain songs that I feel are a little more country than rock, and then songs that are more rock than country.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that shit, man. All of it. Have you ever seen the Pink Panther? Like the old ones?
Oh, I think the first one.
Oh, like not the Steve Martin one.
No, I think it was the legit old one.
But there's Inspector Jacques Clouseau.
Yeah.
And then he has his chief, and his chief hates him. And every time that someone would say the name Clouseau, his eye would start to fucking twitch. That's what happens when I listen to country. As soon as anything comes on, my eye starts to just fucking go.
Yeah. See, I used to shit on country all the time, and I'd be like, oh, it sucks. I would never listen to that. And then a couple times when you're out in the boonies and you put on the radio and all they have is country stations, I listen to a few of them. They're not bad.
It's not bad. Like, I'm fine with it having on. It's just not my go-to.
I wouldn't put it on myself, probably.
Yeah.
But you're right. I can tolerate it.
Yeah.
So if you had a wife and she put on country, you wouldn't.
That's the tough thing, especially where we are Christian, dating girls.
What's all this we talk? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, dating girls here in the lovely prairies.
The country.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? It's interesting. I find more often than not that most of the girls that I go out with don't really like country.
Oh, okay. Most of the girls.
It's a weird. I think it's really polarizing. It's either or.
Mm-hmm.
You have the girl that just like, no, I don't like country. You have the girl going, woohoo, I love country. You know, that's
super southern. Yeah.
No, yeah, kind of. I guess that was an over exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like I've been to Craven's, going to Craven's since I was 4 years old, and I was like, oh, all right.
Stampede and.
How many people have you slept with?
Yeah, I find most of the girls that I date. I find love country music and like love hanging out at the branch and the
Really?
Outlaws and stuff like that. And I hate those places.
I was hoping through this whole COVID thing,
Yeah.
and if there's any businesses that aren't going to make it out, this is going to sound terrible, and I feel bad for the business owners, but for the greater good, I hope Outlaws and the Branch are the ones to not make it.
Another country bar is gonna pop up. You know that for sure.
Why can't I would take a K-pop bar, a K-pop club, or
Can we buy if one of those bars goes under? Can we buy it and start our own bar?
Yeah.
Because I would love to do an electronics bar. Because we don't have one in Saskatoon.
I
Electronic
see it in your
music?
eyes. I see some actual conviction here.
Yeah, I'd do it. Because I feel like you should be able to make a lot of money at a bar. I just feel like if you're not an idiot owner and you don't fuck around with,
What's an example of an idiot owner?
Well, just
A
people-
real life one.
I can't think of a real life example. I would just assume that they'd be kind of hiding money in taxes and trying to pay as little taxes as possible. And
Or
then
they're
the feds
drinking on the
get to you.
job.
They drink on the job. They spend it on all sorts of shit to either.
What are the margins like here, do you think? Because I feel like obviously most of your money comes from cover
And alcohol.
and
Alcohol.
alcohol. And alcohol
Drinks
here
are
is so
so
fucking expensive. Yeah.
Like even if you like, you have to buy it from the Saskatchewan government.
Yeah,
your
you have to buy
alcohol.
SLGA.
But it's you still got to be making good margins when you're selling it.
I don't know. Because that shit's not cheap.
I mean, yeah, it isn't, but like, I just don't like the location of Outlaws or the branch too.
Where are those two?
On Idlewild up on
Next to the two
33rd?
shittiest hotels.
You're right. They are bad spots. Where would be a good spot? Somewhere nicer.
I don't know.
Yeah. But
High
anyways,
traffic places.
Like, are you
Yeah.
talking like electronic music, like techno house?
EDM.
Probably more EDM, I would think, because that's one thing is that people always say they love going to the gay bars because they have a nice dance floor, whereas the EDM would be maybe more hardcore and intense, but it's still you could make a focus of the dance floor.
Well, we just gotta be careful with drugs around that.
Oh, it's gonna be drug filled. I'll just accept that right off the bat,
You just see people popping Molly and acid, and you're like, okay.
as long as they're paying for drinks. I don't fucking know what can we do? As
You're
human
what's wrong with society, Rheal.
What I am?
I'm not just
As
kidding.
long as I'm profiting.
Yeah, as long as you're making bank, that's all that matters.
Bang. And we'll just start our own acid tabs in the back.
Oh man.
No.
Then we can move the entertaining stupid
I
podcast
think-
to record there right before the.
I think
The
it'd be super cool if you had an EDM bar, but you did it in such a way that you promoted it to be like a go-to place in the world, where you have. This is gonna sound like, say, someone on a level below Daft Punk, and like
Oh.
Gazoffelstein,
Okay, like
and,
really,
and,
really
and
popular.
Kavinsky, like those guys, like where they want to come
Oh, I see.
here,
I see. Yeah.
and it's an exclusive kind of performance, right?
You'd have to make a reputation for
That's
that.
what I mean, though.
Fuck.
Or you have a unique plan.
something.
Dude,
I feel like that because that's what the Remy tried to do.
what is it?
as an art gallery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's kind of there's just had
Eh.
so many internal issues.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you could live stream the DJ set.
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference between that and just playing it?
Hmm?
No. Oh, did you mean like still have them in the place?
Yeah, still have
Yeah,
it in
still
the
have
place,
it,
and
but
then
you
just
can also-
stream it on Twitch or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's whatever. I don't think that's gonna gain you too much. I would think just having a
It's
very nice
a
venue.
gimmick. It's a
That's what I
gimmick.
mean.
Having a really good venue with like some cool fucking laser displays,
Lava lamps everywhere.
just shit like that. Just a really good spot.
Where you create like a triangle where it's like L.A., Vegas, New York, Saskatoon at the tip of the triangle.
Places to be.
Yeah, that's like the route, you know.
Yeah.
And then people be like, "Shit, you can go to Saskatoon,"
Or-
because it's so crazy because
Mm.
you can. It's almost as if everyone just descends upon the middle of Canada because everyone would be heading for the same spot. Like if you think about it, because I remember when my dad would, when he goes away, like to faraway places, and people ask where he's based out of, he would say Saskatoon, but then he would try to explain it, and instead of saying it's in the middle of Canada, he'd say it's 2 hours from Vancouver, 2 hours from Toronto, 2 hours from Denver,
Hmm.
and that
I'm
kind of
not
just
2 hours from Toronto.
2-3 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Driving?
No,
No,
what?
flying.
No, flying.
Okay.
There's no way you're getting to Vancouver driving. 2
That
hours.
was my question. I was like, these numbers
No,
are
no, no,
fucked.
Flying, like distant,
Okay.
like flying,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And it'd just be cool how you just see all this like
It's very centralized.
like what would you call it? First of all, this bar. You've thought about it. What would you call it?
Shit. No, I haven't thought of that.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
think of a really stupid one right now. I was gonna go with like the rave pussy or something. I don't know.
Oh, chomos. Chomos. Where it's so well known and crazy that the night before a show, you look at the flights all over, like, you know, you get those satellites
Yeah.
that have, you see all of these planes just heading towards Saskatoon. Really, the airport's gotta have special procedures for when this
Yeah.
happens.
It's like, oh
But
no, it's that time of the month again. They're having
Oh,
a
shit, they're having an event. But that wouldn't be just like a bar though, because to have that many people coming in, you have to have a giant venue to house them all, kind of.
Yeah.
So that'd be like
Streaming.
that's
we're
like
gonna,
a,
cram, we're gonna cram 500 people into my basement.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I was actually thinking if you could find
Or he's
a
built up.
warehouse.
In the north end, like just
Just take a
I'm
fucking
sure
warehouse.
there's steel structures always up for rent. Just rent them out for.
Gotta be.
What if you had a business but you actually had no actual overhead, where your company or your bar is just pop up?
Or I was thinking if you could do it where it's like maybe a warehouse in the day and then you just kind of swap a few things out to make it bar evening.
And for everyone listening, this is just imagination. We're not considering SLGA rules
Oh God, no.
or even zoning. And all that.
zoning.
Yeah.
Fucking zoning. But I was just thinking a warehouse would be sick. 'Cause A, it'd be fucking huge, and B, if you could start doing some cool, like walkways.
I was gonna say
Gaffs, gantries, gaffs.
Yeah.
never do it at Prairie Land though. I feel like there's.
Oh.
I feel like when there's an event at Prairie Land, it doesn't matter who it is. In my mind, it's just downgraded right away.
Yeah.
It's not great. I mean, New Year's Eve at Prairie Land's awful.
Have you ever gone to mock wedding?
No.
It's awful. I hated it. It was terrible.
I remember my friends trying to get me to go. I'm like, I don't want to go to this. This sounds awful.
No,
Yeah, that
it
one
was-
is what was that one about?
pretty much. I think it's a company that travels and does it, and you dress up like it's a wedding.
Oh.
Like you can wear a suit and tie. A lot of people, you know, they know they're gonna get fucked, so they just wear like a t-shirt with a tie kind of thing. But a lot of people actually will show up like wearing suits and dresses and get up, and it's you go inside and it's got kind of like tables like a wedding. It's not like nice as a wedding would be, but there's tables, and then I think they pick a groom and a bride.
Oh, really?
I think. I'm trying to remember, but it's mostly just a shit show you get fucking hammered at.
Right.
And I went there, and I think I was too old to be there. I was like 25 or 24.
Okay.
Everyone there was like
24,
19,
25,
20,
yeah.
Holy
21.
shit.
Yeah, because it's
Huh.
all like university students. So
Okay. I mean, sounds like a cool event. It's just something different, a different type of party to go and get smashed at.
yeah, but I guess I had heard of it for so long, and I never had gone. Then I finally went, and I was like, oh,
That's not good.
not for me.
It's not good at all. Now back to this warehouse idea. In the middle of the night, it's gonna be dark, right? I say we just throw up like glow
Glory
lights
holes
everywhere. Strap on
A dildo.
no, well, laser tag. We just stick laser vests and laser guns on people.
Okay, that's a really good idea when they're on psychedelic drugs.
Yeah, and then we're selling alcohol too, and it's just a giant laser tag party.
Well, okay. I wouldn't
And
do that all the time, but
I mean,
that'd be an every once in a while event. I mean, that sounds fucking cool. Oh, and if you get somehow where it's got the like sort of a dry mist going through the place, you can see the lasers firing. Ooh.
I'd prefer that over like a foam party.
How much would it cost to throw just one party just to see?
Like a big ass party? Oh fuck.
Just to see for any.
I don't know if
I'm
we
talking
can.
about we. But
I don't think we can theoretically look any of that information up without actually going into heavy research.
Yeah, because I would just assume your big cost would be location rental and then alcohol. would
Licensing too.
insurance.
Fuck. Oh god. It gets expensive.
And then if you want to be successful, promotion, advertising.
Yeah, which would be a big one too. No, I'm sure it would definitely take quite a lot of capital to start something like this. But I just see a bar as like a license to print money, just to me.
Why?
It seems profitable to me.
I
could be wrong.
I
be
think
wrong.
it's
place
just
that's
a-
only going to be open 2 days out of the week, really.
Yeah, but you got people coming in spending a shit ton of money on booze.
Your most profitable is definitely the weekends, but then you'll get your regular alcoholics and
I don't know if
people
the
coming after.
electronic bar
Unless you
would,
find a
though.
way to make.
Oh yeah,
venue
right. If you want to
multiple
do an EDM place, that's not.
Unless you do like weekday shows.
like an Amigos kind of thing, where you have like.
Because I definitely want to do like live performances, obviously.
Yeah.
Get some local DJs going. And then so
You're thinking of a club, man.
it's turning sort of into a club. Well, hopefully with the warehouse you have the space to do all sorts of fun stuff.
Can we split it up like half of it is a club and half of it is the bar or something like that?
Probably.
If we just have a warehouse like two.
Well, I mean, you could do a giant fucking dance floor. That'd be pretty cool.
You just want a giant dance floor at this point.
I just want to
Hey,
rave.
do you like to dance?
No.
What?
I fucking hate dancing.
Oh, you're the perfect owner.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is they, like those owners were like, oh, they're the ones doing drugs and doing this and that, and I'd be like, no, I'm just doing the book to
in the back office doing book work.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, you want to drink? I'm like, I can't drink. I'm working. Can't do that, guys.
Or he just has the music blasting over the speakers into his office.
Still be listening to it.
But you have to. Okay, this just came to my head in like 2 seconds. You're the owner. You're doing the book work, but you're listening to like classical music. You've got this like
You're
dressed
Yeah.
in like the full suit and stuff like that.
but
You
not
walk-
in a suit, but like one of those
smoking
like
jacket.
20th century tuxedos with like where it's like the big white kind of cummerbund type vest.
Oh, like with the full
fluffy.
Yeah.
or
yeah,
poofy.
yeah, where you got pockets like right here, and you got a
fuck.
monocle.
And the
Right.
office has got like nice bookcases.
It's got
and shit.
mahogany walls
Yeah,
and
yeah,
furniture.
You've got a gun on your hip, but like an old kind of.
There's a fireplace in his office.
Yes.
And they open the door and there's lights like
Ray
lasers
walks
going.
out. Ray walks out onto the dance floor. It's all smoky and like lasers shooting everywhere. All of his employees are dressed in like fishnets and like piercings and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, yes, it just has a bunch of big black guys as security detail.
That too.
I think we're just making him a villain right now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
okay
You're a
with
Marvel
this.
villain now.
Sweet. I'll be the.
What would your name
penguin?
be? No, not the penguin. Can't be the penguin. It gotta be something new.
Oh, I have to be original.
You'd be Harvey Chipman.
Ray walks out onto the dance floor, just stares at everybody. He's like, peasants.
What are you doing in my house?
You have one balcony that you just come and watch.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And judge everyone.
Yeah. And then there's the one guy who's determined to take you down, and he's always looking up at you.
Soon.
Can we just have like a cage suspended in the air? We're just gonna stick Dan in it.
And naked, sweaty Dan.
Don't worry, we give him food every once in a while.
Yeah, we throw it up there like he's an animal.
Old cage down.
You just got like a cattle prod poking him every now and then. Dan, swimming monkey.
I just love the idea of being a villain. They're like, what's your tragic backstory? You're like, I lived a really good childhood in a middle class home, a lot of vacations.
Just
good
a lot of
education."
teenage angst that never really went away.
They're like,
That's like I watched this documentary yesterday called Alt Right. Have you seen that on Netflix?
No.
It
I've
fol-
heard of it. I
It
think.
follows the leader of some kind of white supremacist group 1 year into Trump's
Presidency?
presidency, and it leads up to the Charlottesville
Ooh.
Riots.
Riots. I don't know. I was gonna say massacre, but it wasn't a massacre. But
No. What, one person died?
No,
One
there's
person.
a lot of people that died because some idiot fucking drove their
It was
car
one
through.
person.
One
Yeah.
person drove. Oh, one person died?
one
Only
person
one
died.
person. Yeah,
Okay.
it was
A
one
lot of
lady.
people got injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Injuries, whatever.
But it showed that and followed some other ones, and the guy who I think his name is Spencer
Whatever.
something Spencer.
Sure.
He's like, I grew up in a normal home. My parents, like, he said they weren't like white supremacists at all. It's just like his viewpoint. And it kind of just reminded me of what you said.
Okay,
just
just
like
like
grew up in a he's like, I
very
grew up in a normal
normal.
family. He's like, if you looked at my family and my upbringing, you probably could have predicted I would have been like a doctor or a lawyer or accountant. But no, I lead a white supremacist group.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Did
I was stunned. He wants to divide America up by like skin color, more or less. Like he would take most of the Midwest
Yeah.
down to Texas, and it would be called the White People's Republic or something. And then you have like the Texas Republic. You have the African American Republic, which is like like all the shit states like Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia,
Jeez.
and then you have the Floridian Republic,
So Texas and Florida is just their own
and
thing.
then I think also California and the Pacific Northwest or would be its own kind of thing. But
Huh.
it was like this guy really believes that this would solve everything.
Really?
Oh yeah, and he is absolutely out of his mind.
Yeah. It's almost scarier when you're talking to someone like that and they're just very well thought and like rational, but they have such crazy ideas and you're like, but you're smart. You're smart enough to know to plan it. Like you're not some crazy raving lunatic on the corner. You're like an intelligent person with some really fucking bad ideas.
But the craziest part was they were also following this other guy. If you look it up, it's called the American Renaissance. Have you heard of it? It's pretty much a white supremacist group, but I don't want to label
yeah.
it.
You know what? I'm just gonna look up the alt right.
But if you look up that specific American Renaissance, you'll
Yeah, flags.
I think his name is like Matt Spencer or something.
Age
Age of Rage.
Age of Rage. The Age of Rage.
Okay. It's just encompassing-
Richard Spencer, that's who that is.
Jenkins. Leroy.
Oh yeah, Lamont Jenkins. Yeah,
Anyways.
but if you look up, if you go on Google and just look up American Renaissance.
This is a different one.
No, that's the group it was following. It was following this Richard Spencer's group,
Okay.
and then also this other guy who has written a bunch of books on race consciousness, is what he calls it.
Interracial white advocacy.
Yeah, it's white supremacist online publication.
Just straight up. Not even trying to hide it.
Yeah,
Founded in 1990.
yeah, but the most shocking part of it, he holds a conference every year, and it's full every year. Like people show up to it, and he's talking about a white America, and people are clapping, and it's like, who are these people? They have to probably hide their identities because they can't, in their right mind, think that that's completely normal.
Well, they
Well,
right?
they might think it's normal, but because
Yeah.
society doesn't, they hide. It's like furries.
Yeah.
All right, there's
Have
these
to-
people that want to
hide
dress
it.
up and pretend to be animals.
Yeah, but they know it's crazy,
in their mind it's normal.
or they would wear it out in public all the
There,
time.
No,
there
no.
are some people that
That's
would
mental
be.
illness.
Because, yeah, you can believe something and just understand, well, society doesn't accept it or they'll reject it, so I have to keep it on the down low.
Yeah,
So-
it's
And I think that was a big thing of when, with the Trump presidency, is people were saying now racists feel like they kind of are emboldened to come forward
yeah.
and be a lot more open. with
They were
it.
kind of talking about that too, how they kind of gave
Yeah, you
a
know,
little bit of a rise.
there are some people really into white people into
Can you-
Asian
Can you
things. and-
click that website? What does it say?
What?
News and commentary on what? On interracial crime?
Which one?
The first one, the actual website for the.
On interracial. The despair of being mixed race.
Oh, can you please click that? I need to know what that has to say. And there's comments too.
Let me just.
Oh, my God.
I am a 27-year-old mixed race of German and Iranian heritage. My father was an all-American man from Ohio. He fell in with my mother, who fled from Iran in 1979. He's saying he's upper middle class. Mother studied accounting. A tight-knit community of Iranians. His godmother was a huge role in his raising.
The problems with my split identity were clear by the time I was.
Okay,
10.
what was the problems?
Although I hung out with both groups, I was never really one of them.
Oh, okay, that's all.
Bullshit.
That's all in his fucking mind.
Yeah.
The Iranian kids spoke fluent Farsi, as I'd mumble and primitive broken Farsi mixed with English. White kids were generally nice, but after the terrorist attacks 9/11, there was a certain distance between us. I didn't read about politics, religion. Okay, so that's
Where's
his
he going
issue.
with
He
this?
went to the fucking internet. That's why he feels isolated.
Problem.
And as
Number
Christian knows, the internet's not a great place.
Do not go on the internet for advice.
Unless you're a woman, they'll give you sympathy.
Yeah, they will. Or your dog. Student identity politics. Okay, so I don't know what his point is. I'm not really interested because I don't feel bad for him.
Switch back and forth between white and Iranian
What's his
girlfriends.
name?
Sure you do, bud.
Did it say that?
One of those lines.
Right here.
I would switch back at. Oh, poor you.
Boo hoo.
Am I supposed to feel bad for this motherfucker?
Okay, wait. Not this guy in general.
Ideally, I'd like to date a half German, half Iranian woman.
Good
oh
luck.
my god! But statistically speaking, that's not very likely. Oh my! Who is this guy? What's his name? If his name is like Wasim, I would. John Doe is
Oh,
a.
Pseudonym. He
and I want to
posted
date
anonymous.
someone who's
Oh, okay.
132 Japanese,
Okay, can-
1/16
what's the most? What's the smallest fraction to still get a treaty card?
I don't know.
16. It's 16. Okay, I want to see the comments though.
You lived a tough life. Peace be
Don't
on you.
forget that some Iranian are Jewish, so there's another monkey wrench for you.
Oh my god.
Moreover, most Iranian American women want a fully white man.
fully white.
creating
man.
more despair, I guess. Oh my god. Okay, these comments aren't as bad as I thought they would be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, woe is me. Get attention, free stuff. But no, what I was gonna say, like, again, no sympathy on this guy, but you do hear the stories of people. It's like, say, in Canada, Native American, and living in a predominantly white community or something like that, and they're like, I don't feel attached to either side of my upbringing. Like,
Yeah.
they're taken away from the Native American community, so they don't learn that, and then they're looked as maybe not quite as equals on the white side, so they don't really fit in there. And it's just like, fuck, I feel like an outcast. That's not fair.
I don't know. Like, it depends on who you are as a person. Like, that's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to,
I feel like,
and what you choose to believe.
to me, certain places put a lot more emphasis on their heredity or whatever, where it's just like, if you were Iranian and you came to America, you'd have a lot of identity with Iranian culture or background or whatever. Or if you were Irish and you came, you'd have a lot of identity with Irish. It's like me personally, I have French and English background. I don't give a fuck about France or England. I'm in Canada.
How long is your? How far does it go back?
My grandparents were here in Canada. Great grandparents might have been in Canada.
Oh, so pretty far.
Yeah, like it's decently far. So that's why I always say I'm Canadian. And they're like, "What?
Are they
Where
from
you from?
Saskatchewan? Like,
Parents were, I think, grandparents on both sides. Yeah, you'd have to go pretty far back to go out of Saskatchewan, I think.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's just like, for me, I'm Canadian. I
Yeah.
don't have any connection to any different place really. And everyone makes a big deal. They're like, "No, you have to have a connection to somewhere." Fucking no, I don't.
No.
What do I care? Yeah, I can speak some French. Don't give a fuck about them. But thanks.
I mean, you spoke French to a bunch of French people, and they're like, you kind of speak it funny.
Probably. That's also because,
you
like,
did that once.
We
that
were in
was
New Zealand.
in
You were
New
speaking to a
Zealand.
bunch of French people.
I tried speaking, and within the first sentence, I'd forgotten like 4 words. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I was trying to say I cut grass for a living because at the time I was working for parks,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, je coupe le
Grass.
Yeah, grass. And then I'd look at Sylvan, and he kind of helped me out a little bit, and the people are just staring at me like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Were they French?
I think they were from Quebec or something,
no, they were
Oh.
French.
or French. Yeah, no, they were French.
Because I remember I was just sitting there reading a book or something like that, and I just overheard you guys talking, and they were like, like French and Quebec French are
Yeah, a
like
little
different.
Yeah, they always tell you that.
Were you guys taught Quebec French?
I think we were taught French.
Oh yeah.
I think. I don't know what Quebec. So I don't know what the difference is.
I
personally.
assume it's something like Spanish and Portuguese.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just dialect, because it's probably like the Spanish spoken in Mexico versus the Spanish spoken in Argentina.
Oh, okay. So it's like,
Hmm.
English being spoken here, and then we go down to like Texas or Louisiana.
You can still understand them though.
Nova Scotia.
Oh,
No.
not a chance.
So. Yeah, I don't understand it, but it's just.
It seems to me that ancient Persians were white. No,
What?
it doesn't. I don't know.
What? But
P.
again, so, yeah.
Tit Gregory.
All right, we're gonna
We've
stop
gone
reading
far
these.
on this
We're gonna stop reading
Anyway,
these
whoa!
comments.
Look at that banner. We need you. Oh, Sam,
America.
this whole but that documentary, it's definitely worth watching, but it is fucked.
Just
That
seeing-
country is gonna explode one of these days.
It's. Oh, especially with what's going on right now. Like, it's.
Racial
fucking
tensions. Oh,
Well, racial tension, then COVID just added a whole nother element to everything.
that too. It makes you kind of lucky to live in Canada, because I used to follow this. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast, but I used to listen to this one podcast, and it's 2 African American guys, and I listened to it because they would talk about like relationship stuff, and they bring in some good people. But then they started to shift their podcast more towards a African American audience, so
Mhm.
I kind of fell off, but I still had them on Instagram. And they brought a guy in to talk about interracial marriage. I'm like, what the fuck? So I started looking at the comments and stuff, and a lot of black people were like, "Stay with your own kind. Stay with your own kind. It can
Oh.
never work between a white person and a black." It's like, what do you mean?
Really?
There's a lot of that sentiment I find.
The cultural divide is so great down there, but when you come to Canada, nobody gives a fuck.
Mm.
Nobody gives a fuck if you're from, I don't know, let's just say if you're from Turkey and you hook up with a girl who's like 4th generation Canadian type deal.
No.
There's nobody like would be.
Maybe the parents, but it.
No,
No,
I
not
don't
even.
think so.
Not really.
Not like it is down there.
No. It wouldn't be a like hatred or nothing like that.
No.
I think, most of the white girls I dated, the only one I really had a problem with was the one family. Their parents were really, really like, I don't know if they were Catholic or Christian, but really religious, and didn't like the fact that I wasn't.
Okay, but that was a
Catholic?
religion
Yeah,
thing.
that was a religion. That
Was it
wasn't a
because
race
you
thing.
weren't religious?
I wasn't religious. I wasn't baptized. All that fun stuff, and they didn't really like me hanging around.
Hey, your eyes look a little different than ours. What? Sorry.
That's fine.
I was gonna be like, never mind.
Yeah. I mean,
What
no
are
one-
you,
no one-
Inuit or something? I heard you people like seal blubber.
Actually, I'm Hawaiian,
Yeah, you should say that. Be like, no, I'm actually Hawaiian.
Polynesian.
There's not many people know about the world, so they'd be like, "Oh wow, that's fascinating."
Oh, did I tell you a story about Nebraska when I went down there with my dad?
Oh,
I think I briefly talked
I think you
where
mentioned it.
where they just had no clue where Saskatchewan was,
Yeah.
and they thought my dad and I were roommates. Yeah, because
Forgot
we were
that
two
part.
different skin colors.
Oh,
That's why they didn't understand. And then I got introduced to like one of the guy's sons, and he said, "Oh, this is Christian. This is his dad, Sanj, or vice versa. This is Sanj and his son Christian." He kind of like looked at both of us like super confused. I've never seen that kind of confusion before. Yeah, it's really funny.
oh man, yeah, that's
I mean, yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're born in the Western world. Our parents are gonna give us white names, or
They should.
Western names, just so that where there's no confusion.
so much easier.
Do you know what Russell
Unfortunately-
Peters' brother's name is? Clayton.
That's some white name.
Yeah, it's some white ass name.
That's some white name right there.
Yeah.
And it sucks that they kind of almost are forced to do it, but it does help so much.
I mean, I have a Chinese name. And my parents call me that. My family calls me that. I also have a Western name so that I can talk.
Which
to
one's
people.
your legal name? Is it Jayson?
It's it just makes things way easier.
Oh, of course it does.
well, even in my case, talk to anyone over the phone. I say my name. I have to spell it out every single time. Like no one wants to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, at least
Make
it's
it-
your, what is it, 5 letters?
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But
Your
yeah.
last name's a little harder.
Oh, it's fun. But no, it's just like you talking to someone. You're like, yeah, my name is Vu Shuang or something. They're like, oh, okay, spell it out for me.
What country is that from?
I don't know. I'm making shit up here.
I'm just kidding. I'm bugging you.
Fushuan. I feel like it's got some.
It's Uzbekistani or something.
I don't know the world either, so I can't comment.
I went for a walk with Brett yesterday, and I just like to talk bullshit with him just to piss him off mostly, and to get his reaction. But I was like, so I was telling him about this documentary, and I said, I want to look up on Google the most racist town in America, and I want to spend 24 hours there. Because
Well, like, do you want to be like outwardly racist or like inwardly racist? Because I mean, like if you want to go outwardly racist, I think a lot of places down in like the South would be more outwardly
see,
racist.
that's what I mean though.
If you want to go inwardly racist, where they're just like the snobby white people in like Vermont.
Where they wouldn't say it out loud, but they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's one of you people, huh?"
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a bit of both. I don't know, because I've never actually experienced real racism.
Like
Here?
straight up.
Yeah, like
I
when I was
Get out of my shop. We
yeah,
don't
like
serve
when
you, or-
9/11 happened, I remember I had one kid I went to elementary school with like make some kind of comment, like he said, "Oh, is Osama bin Laden your grandfather or something?" Like, but the thing is, he wasn't my friend, but I had known him for forever, so I knew, maybe not at the time, but now I know that wasn't malicious.
It was more
you
of
know?
a joke.
It was more of a joke, or just
It's just him.
being a kid. You're 8 years old, right? But I've never gone somewhere and gotten a look where someone didn't know me, but just based on what they see, they give me a look, which I'm pretty ethnically ambiguous anyway, so I wouldn't expect that to happen. But I wonder if I did go to a town, the most racist town in America, what I would experience, because there's people who tell me, like my friends always say that, they call me brown and all that stuff, but then my mom was like, no, you're white. Like, look at you, you're white.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I go, this will settle it. If I'm treated any differently, then I'm brown. But if I fit right in, then
Damn, I'm white.
then shit, I can't check off the
I mean-
visible minority box anymore in applications.
I mean, like, as much as my parents like to say I'm a Chinese person, they're like, yeah, no, you are a white kid.
They identify as Chinese. They don't say Hong Kong person.
I mean,
Is there a name for someone from
Free
Hong Kong?
Hong
Don't say
Kongian?
Hong- Yeah,
yeah,
Hong Konganese.
Hong Kong?
Hong Kong.
But yeah. So, well, I mean, what they identify, I guess, would be like the Cantonese or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They're not really part of. My parents don't really identify with mainland China or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the times it's just me and my brothers are white kids, even though we are fully Chinese.
Have you ever
right?
experienced any kind of outward racism where someone didn't know you and they just completely judged you based on how you looked?
Ooh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't in a malicious way, because I would always hang out in the front of Place Rheal, the bus station out of the university there, right? And people would walk up, the international students would walk up to me and start speaking Mandarin, and like I wouldn't understand them, right?
That's not
And
like
then-
racism. Though.
No, I mean, well, I guess
Racial
it's
profiling.
what is it? That was just them assuming that it's just Asians mistaking other Asians, right?
If they spoke Cantonese to you, would you have spoken back?
I would have spoken.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But like several times, there were these white guys, and they was like, "Hey, do you know there's the International Student Society down?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
I live 2 blocks from here, but yeah.
No, but it's funny because Susie opens his mouth and talks.
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, all right," and then they just sort of go on about their day, and it's just like, they mistook me. It wasn't malicious.
No.
But-
That's not what I mean. Like, you're mistaken. I'm talking about actual.
Okay, I don't know if it's not really malicious, but there are times where I go into like a small store or something and I'm delivering product and I see the owner and they might look like Jayson, an Asian person, and I just get that thought where I'm like, am I going to be able to communicate with them? And
then
if they open their mouth and they're speaking perfect English, I'm like, oh,
does
yeah.
that happen
sweet.
most of the time?
What?
That they just open their mouth and they're, oh, hey, how's it going?
It's actually more frequent that it's a struggle.
Oh.
So, but it's just that momentary thought in my head. It's like, is that malicious? Is that racist?
No, that's your brain making shortcuts.
It's also kind of racial.
It's
Yeah, but
it
that's
kind of
a-
is, but it's also you trying to prepare the events coming up, right?
Yeah. It's
Because
just
I mean,
setting yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, as a person, ideally, you don't ever want to be, making an ass out of yourself. So your brain will take steps in perceiving things and trying to anticipate things to try and make everything go cohesively, right?
That's it. But also, it's a good thing because at least in your mind, you know that there's a difference in culture and there's a different ways of communicating with people.
Mm-hmm.
If you just didn't care and walked up to them and say there was problems communicating and that frustrated you, then that's an issue.
Right. If you're not trying to do anything.
Yeah, if you just
To
think
help
that
the situation.
just because they're here, they should be able to communicate like I communicate. There's no recognition of cultural difference
Mhm.
or procedure.
But, yeah. In my case, it's mostly just kind of talk a bit slower.
Yeah,
Use
that-
more
that's-
basic words.
I mean, as long as you guys are both willing to, meet in the middle, that's fine,
Okay.
right? You're not going out there, degrading him and cursing him and all this kind of stuff because you can't speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
You are taking the effort into trying to understand and,
I mean,
and
I
communicate
will.
with them.
I will say sometimes you leave the store and you're like, oh fuck, that took
It
like 10
is.
minutes
It is.
longer
It
than it
can.
should have.
It
Yeah.
can be exhausting. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you are there to make the effort.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And I think most of the time, racist people would be like, "No, fuck this," and just either berate you and then leave, or just straight up leave.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of how you handle the situation. I think that's a big part of it, though. It's a lot of people, especially if you're trying to be conscious about racism, is the difference between what's going on inside your head and how you act outwardly. Where it's just like someone could say like, "Oh, you're not racist at all. You interact the same with everyone. I've seen you," and you're just like, "Yeah, but you haven't seen inside my head."
I want to go quickly back to this bar idea because I was thinking, what if we had like lodging facilities too?
Lodging.
Like
Wait.
bunk beds.
Oh, I heard launching facilities. I'm
I
like,
heard
I like
lodging.
where we're going with this.
Lodging facilities, like bunk beds that you can rent out if you're too drunk.
That's disgusting.
It could be, or it could be done okay. It could be just kind of like capsule.
Like in a hostel.
Yeah. Just a real tiny. You just need a spot to sleep. Like that's it.
It's like $20 for for like a 8 a.m. wake up call.
And again, in a
You wanna
warehouse, if you
clean
have
the
the
puke
space,
off of all these beds and wash all those sheets and all the
Well,
cum
no, we
stains.
plastic wrap everything and then we just hose it down. We're in a warehouse.
Oh Jesus! How much would you charge for this?
I don't know, $20 for the.
It's pretty cheap. I was gonna say like 120.
Oh,
no, because you
Someone
want it-
drunk, if they really want to go to sleep, he said $120. It's yours. They'd be like, yes.
Yeah, you could trick them.
you could,
for
but I
sure.
mean, like,
I'd prefer to do it like the 20 or 40 buck, and they're like, yeah, okay. And then again, if it's a warehouse and you have a decent amount of parking, they drive to your place, get absolutely smashed, sleep, and then in the morning they can drive off.
you kick them all out. Yeah, just
Yeah.
it's just like at 9 a.m. we are hosing everything down. Be out of the bed by that.
Oh God.
Interesting. Let's go back to the launching idea.
Okay,
What's
like
the lo-
I don't
like
know.
nuclear
trampolines.
missiles?
Or you just like shoot them out of a cannon onto like trampolines. Or
Oh,
something?
can you imagine like those are like those trampoline facilities, right? Where there's just wall to wall trampolines. You have a bar. No, that's just a recipe
That's
for people to get hurt.
Terrible idea. I like how in the middle of the idea you recognize.
So many
Oh,
lawsuits.
this is going bad.
Have one of those slam ball things going on at the same time, right in the middle, and have a team come in.
Can we just dress people up in like those inflatable sumo suits and just
Some
Stick-
sort
You know
of
what this is starting to sound like? I watched Pinocchio last night.
yeah.
It sounds like Pleasure Island a little bit. Just whatever you want.
Mm.
Have you seen Pinocchio?
I'm sure it's been a long time if I have seen it. So
You know, the boys, they go off to Pleasure Island and all the beer you can drink, all the cigars you can smoke, break
Huh.
things.
really?
Yeah, you turn into a donkey.
You turn to donkeys and get sold off to the salt mines.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, because you make an ass of yourself.
Aha. I get it.
Okay, yeah.
Nice. So you could have some sort of like middle area where you can do events or activities or something.
Over the dance floor. Under the dance floor.
Have sharks underneath the dance floor.
Oh. That'd be interesting. Things happening either over
Can
or
we?
under.
Oh,
Should I have
if
a
we have
whale?
if we have a bar, we can kind of mix two of our hobbies together. Ray has this EDM dance floor up top, right? But it's a very, very thick sort of like glass dance floor that you can see through the bottom. And then in the basement, we just have a skate park.
It's gonna do terribly, but okay.
Cool. I was thinking if you had the bar and dance or the club and all that, and then underneath it's like a grating that you can see through, and it's like a maze at the bottom, and you can just look down and watch people trying to go through a maze.
Drunk people to walk through a maze.
And then we unleash serial killers in them. And they have to run away from them or
Serial-
they die.
It's a
Serial
horror
molesters.
Yeah, serial killers and molesters, but you cannot tell the difference, so take your chances.
Sweet. We have a horror EDM club.
Or
I'm
you
liking
might not
this.
come home after.
We don't get sued because we make everyone sign waivers before they come in.
Yeah.
Holy shit. There have been 14 confirmed murders at this club.
They all signed that it was okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because that reminds me of, have you seen Freddy vs. Jason?
Yeah.
It's kind of like they have that party, and then they're out in the cornfield, and Jason just shows up and starts just fucking killing
Yeah.
people. That's
This is a weird ass club.
it's a weird ass conversation. This went from, hey, let's take over outlaws to let's kill people.
I'm fine with just having like a regular bar, but like
I was okay with the regular.
these like I hate clubs.
Do you? I thought you loved clubs.
I mean, I'm okay. at
Let's do
them.
an Asian only one.
Ooh.
So
I think that might
Niche
get a bit
market.
racist.
What's the most Asian you could be, or like the least Asian you could be to get in? Like a quarter.
Yeah, Cord.
After that, it's
You just have to look.
yeah.
There's a bouncer at the front door. She's like, nah, sorry, you don't look. He's like, I came straight
Hold on.
from China.
Hold on,
Sorry,
hold on. There's like a what is it, like a 1 week waiting period where you got to get swabbed in 23andMe.
Oh God! Or if
yourself.
you gotta bring a 23andMe. If
Test
you're
result.
if you're under 20%, then you can't come in.
Ooh, sorry, bud. Okay, wait. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So club is when it's like really loud and dance club and all that. And you're thinking bar more like pub?
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
There's too many pubs.
Yeah, no, I would go the club route just because I think it's an open market.
It is,
How does
especially
Diva-
here in Saskatoon.
And there's places like Divas that are still around.
What does Divas do?
It's a lesbian bar.
Oh. What kind of music do they do?
It's
Lesbian music.
Shania Twain?
I don't know.
It's country. I
don't
no,
know.
Divas is sort of like that, sort of like LGBTQ or whatever that acronym is.
LGBTQ.
That's a sexual orientation, not a dance or a music.
I know, but like they're sort of like the
Pink?
friendly, open place there, and it's just it's a lot
Oh, are
of
you describing divas?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a lot of current, I guess, hip hop, house.
Okay.
Have you been there?
Yeah,
So it's like some techno.
I went there once.
it's okay.
Then I realized all of the girls were not into me. They were into the girl next to me.
Yeah,
And I was like, this is okay.
I was dancing. I had one of those really like cheap belts, not like a regular belt. It's like one of those clasp ones. Because for me, a lot of the regular belts, the last hole doesn't fit me because I have skinny ass waist.
Okay.
So I have to get the clasp ones, just to make my pants fit a little bit better. And I was dancing with this girl, and she was grinding up on me, and she kept undoing my belt.
Wow, that's some talent. That's like undoing a starburst with your tongue, spitting out a crane.
You're like, I'm not having sex on the dance club or dance floor.
I knew a guy who did that once.
Sex on the dance floor?
Yeah, but it was one of those underage parties, like where it was like under 18, and you go to the Odeon back in the day. Do you remember those parties?
No, I have no idea.
I never went to those.
Do you ever hear of them?
No.
Oh, it
We're not
used
cool
to
kids.
be under 18, between the ages like 16 and 18 or something.
Okay.
And you can buy tickets and you can go, and it's just a big dance party, and they serve punch. But people
Oh.
are fucking hammered anyway. I knew a guy who fucked a girl on the dance floor. Just fucking said he just lifted up her skirt and went to Pound Town.
Jesus. I mean, as long as they were both the same age.
And it was
Or close to.
consensual.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Boy.
I'm still pretty sure you can get called
She
for.
could have been like 37. I don't know.
Oh. Okay,
No.
well, that's
No, I'm just kidding. No, she was
walking
I
away
think
from that one.
I think she was around his age.
That's like the high school after party where it's like set up by the school itself and it's no drinking and all that.
Like our high school grad.
Yeah.
Did you go to that?
The actual one? Yeah. It was at the.
The WDM?
Yeah. Yeah, I went to that.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
I don't think it was very long though.
No, no. I remember leaving at 3:30 in the morning and the sun was coming up, and I wanted to slit my throat because I was so tired
Yeah.
and my allergies were so bad.
Oh.
And then my girlfriend made me go home with her because her mom picked us up. And I remember waking up in the morning, and my lungs were so tight, and I was like, I need to go home. And she's like, no. And I'm like, I don't have my inhaler.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die. It
Ours-
was awful.
Ours was at the Odeon, and I remember walking.
Really? You guys got the Odeon and we got the W fucking DM.
I wouldn't have minded the Western Development Museum.
We had a casino night and a hypnotist.
Oh
Yeah, we had something similar, and then because it was at the
That's what it
Odeon,
was.
there was like the dance floor and stuff like that. So we did all that, and I remember leaving at it was like 4 or 5 in the morning by the time I got home, and then because there are some kids that didn't go to the school one, they wanted to hold their own one. They wanted to go up to my buddy's cabin for the weekend or whatever, and I'm like, I'll do both. I agreed to do both. Bad idea, because I remember I got home at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and my buddies were coming to pick me up at 6 to go drive me and everybody else up to the fucking cabin.
Oh, I would just start drinking. I wouldn't even go to sleep.
Oh fuck! It was
I
it
sleep
was
on the
so
way.
rough. It was
Yeah.
so rough. I just couldn't sleep in the car, but I just felt like shit for, the dancing and hanging out with all the other kids at the school one.
Yeah.
And then I remember we got up there and everyone started partying and drinking, and I just fucking passed out in a lawn chair out by the lake.
Classic. Fucking nerd. What did you do for the summer after graduation? Do you remember?
Like the whole summer?
Yeah.
'Cause
That's a weird thing, hey?
Yeah. Well, I think I knew I was going to university, so like I was just preparing for that, and then I think I worked probably at A&W at that point. I would assume.
I had,
think it
I had
was-
sex in a tent in the woods.
Nobody asked that, man.
I'm putting in my 2 cents.
I'm just kidding. That's like, really?
Yeah. It was at that
No
sort
one
of weekend
asked
there that
Was she cute?
it was my girlfriend at the time. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. She could have been I don't know. Okay.
She could have been Heart Attack Cafe.
Oh, she could have been TikTok. Who knows?
We had sex in the woods in a tent, and it was just awful.
Why was it awful?
Halfway through, a bear was rustling outside.
It was in a fucking tent, man.
So I've had some good times in the tent, mostly by myself. But no, I'm just kidding. I've had sex in a tent. It's all right.
It was just
air
like the
mattress?
branches and everything where the tent was set up. Like, we just popped it up. We didn't clear it up.
It just sounds like you picked a non-ideal location.
Yeah. That was
sounds like
mostly
your
it. That was
problem.
mostly it.
It was a you problem, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we walked back. We walked back to the party at the cabin.
Oh,
afterwards.
wait, what? You set up a tent to have sex in, and then you went back to the party?
It was the sex tent. They set it up for everybody.
That's a lot of effort. I would have just
Yeah.
said, just pull down your pants.
We're on the dance floor. It's fine.
No, I'd like, let's go around. Is there a shed? That's just waiting to get murdered.
Yeah,
in a movie.
Yeah, it is.
That's like from
Did you hear something?
that new Friday the 13th, the one that Michael Bay walked out on.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? I mean, people have sex in weird places. It's like those people that get caught having sex at like the Stampede and stuff like that, where they're just
That was hilarious.
fucking
though.
behind a fucking door.
Did you see that video?
Was it behind a porta potty?
No, it was like in an alley, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
broad daylight.
Yeah, it was. I think it was in like one of the loading bays where the semis back up into.
Clearly visible to everybody because everyone's like, "Oh my god, yes!" Some girls blowing some dude while getting railed by another guy.
Oh, my God. And just a whole crowd cheering.
It's like, woo, winging his dick around like that.
If you're in the crowd, you're just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Start a chat. Interesting. That's what Craven's known for, isn't it?
Having sex,
Fucking
lots and lots of
everywhere.
sex. I heard a rumor that a new strain of gonorrhea was
Developed it.
developed, made it sound like it was in a lab. It was spawned from that horrible event.
You don't have regular gonorrhea. You have Craven gonorrhea.
Oh,
Craven
my.
gonorrhea, where they analyze it and there's a certain type of dirt in it that can only be found in Craven.
It's pumping country music.
That is incredible.
You look at a microscope and the bacteria is wearing a cowboy hat
Cowboy hat. It's got
with a
red
pilsner in his hand and
red Solo Cup playing on.
a condom full of holes in it.
That's incredible. Some scientists is like, this is a new discovery. This will get me to the front page.
Yeah. Cravenous gonorrhea. That's the species and genus and species. Cravenous is the genus. Cravenous gonorrheas.
Fuck.
Have you ever had a STI before?
No. I do. I wouldn't say regular, like semi-regular checkups with that kind of stuff every now and then.
Like finger in the butt?
I haven't done the prostate exams, but I've gone to like the
Blood test.
To get the whole spiel.
Have you been nervous for the result?
No.
Oh.
No.
Boy keeps it clean.
Yeah, no, I use shampoo.
No.
I shaved.
My general rule is never trust a girl, so I always have a condom.
Oh, wow, that's a really healthy perspective.
His rule is has to have more than 4 teeth.
How do you prevent? Well, I ask her, and if she says no, then all right.
I'm going to trust you on this one.
Be like, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm always wrapped up, so.
Are you mad at me, Jason?
Oh.
My question is, are we related?
Oh.
And if it's a no.
You know what? I've definitely asked that question before. Not before any kind of sex or anything, but if I'm talking to a girl and I'm like, where'd you grow up? She's like, oh, I grew up in Humboldt. I'd be like, what's your last name and who are your family?
Just to
make sure.
Yeah.
It's never happened, but
I could definitely see stories happening in Saskatchewan.
yeah.
I can definitely see that.
And then they're like, oh, I guess we are related. All right, let's go. I'll pick up at 7.
Yeah. This makes us better.
What? What?
It's gonna be easier for you to meet my mother.
Yeah. Christmas is a lot easier because we share the same grandparents. So.
Yeah.
You know, Charles Darwin married his own cousin, first cousin.
Darwin?
Yep.
Darwin dude?
Yep. Charles Darwin
There's-
and Albert Einstein
There's like a lot of famous.
and Alec Mackenzie. Well, no, who's the first prime minister of Canada?
So John A. MacDonald.
There you go. He married his first cousin.
But back then, was it a bit more
I
Acceptable?
don't. I think there's a lot of evidence that you probably shouldn't. Oh God.
We should just go people watching someday.
Go with Dan.
Right now, it's not a good idea. With Dan and have commentary.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
It'd be funny if we mic'd him up and followed with him with the camera really far away, but you see him and you hear everything he's saying.
We should. I don't know.
Kind of how
'cause
they
I don't know
mic
how
up football games.
I know, but I don't know how recording laws are here. Because I
I want
know
to say
in
if
like
it's in public, you don't have any respect or.
I think it's free. Like,
Yeah, you don't have expectation of privacy if you're out in public.
Yeah.
okay. So like we should just
Pretty sure.
we should just mic Dan up and have him walk down 20th Street or something.
Oh God, he'll die.
Hey, white boy.
Actually, maybe not.
He works
can
at
hold
St.
his
Paul's
own.
all the time.
He would charm his way into their.
Or he would
Club.
just
Their
vindictively
gang.
come back and
Next thing you
And
know,
do
he's
other
smoking
stuff.
dope in their house.
Okay, look up crazy incest laws now. I'm curious.
think I want to continue doing that.
This was bad enough.
I've never looked this shit up. I've never had to.
So we have a legit criminal law against incest.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought it would
course.
just be socially unacceptable.
No, you get charged for that shit, man.
But, okay, this is going to be weird, but I'm going to take the other side here. But why? Why does the government have any right to say who you can have a relationship with?
I don't know, for the preservation of society.
Okay, yeah, so there is possibilities of some problems in the bloodline.
Oh God.
But that's a personal decision, a personal responsibility.
Okay, then well again, it's like statutory rape too.
What?
Because like if you say people should be freely to love who they want, then what if someone freely loves a minor?
Oh, because minors can't consent to sex. They don't have fully developed brains. So they can't fully comprehend the decision that they're making, thus they can't actively make the decision. Or if it's two adults, brother and sister.
Pedophiles, Ray's not okay with. Incest, maybe.
I don't want to be okay with this.
Don't.
It's obviously
don't be
wrong.
okay with
no,
this.
it's obviously wrong, but I'm
It's
almost understand the idea of where like the government's kind of stepping in over their bounds.
Because the product of that will be
A
Fuck.
monster.
not
It's a
monster, but it just
Have you seen Harold and Kumar?
the one-eyed monster,
Oh, right.
Cyrus or something.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that wouldn't happen, but
no,
it's just not
It's
good.
definitely fucked up. And,
Have you ever seen those? I really wish I can turn off those Snapchat news stories.
Yeah, those are a pain.
Like there's the one that's love don't judge, and I swear I saw one who was like a dad and his daughter or something. And I was like, oh, really? She just gave up on all men. She's like, I just like my dad. Then there's just like fucked up people, like that one dude who kept his daughters chained in the basement or some shit and had a bunch of kids with them.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
then
the worst part of some of those stories is the wives know about it. And like just
no,
let
there
it
was no
happen.
wife. It was just his
Oh,
daughters. And
Okay. So there's some stories where it's just like, yeah, the wife was part of it and she'd bring them food or something.
oh,
like
there's a
that.
Brie Larson movie like that, I think.
Yeah, like Home
The-
or
the
House
ro-
or
the
something. The
room.
Room.
The Room.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. There's some fucked up stories out there.
People are fucked up.
People are fucked up.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. It's been long. We're gonna call it there.
Okay, that's a great way.
Did we have a start to this?
No,
I don't think we did.
You're gonna have to
just
throw
I'll
an
just
intro in.
throw an intro in or something.
Okay.
Topics covered today. I don't want to list them.
We don't.
I
we
might
don't have.
cut out the last bit about incest just so that we end on a
Terrible
happier
things.
note.
Want to segment into something else and use that as an ender?
We could,
Because I got into topic.
what
Oh,
is
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Playing the new Final Fantasy remake.
Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, you guys can
What?
talk about it.
Fuck you.
I don't.
Oh,
I've never
because
played.
it's gaming. That's-
Yeah, I don't have any systems.
They fucked up the combat system, man.
Did they?
Yeah, it's not turn-based combat anymore. It's like a freestyle, like running around.
Oh, so it's more current to the current ones?
Yeah, like sort of like 15, I guess. I don't know how. I can't remember exactly how 15 worked. It's like you could run around. Did you still have an ATB gauge?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, so in this one, you can do like sword attacks, just normally. You can just spam the shit out of sword attacks, and then when your ATB gauge fills up, you can do an item, an ability, a spell.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
how
so it's a
they've done
mixture.
It's a bit of a mixture, so it still kind of has ATB gauge. It still has, I have to wait a period before I can use a spell or something like that. But in the meanwhile, let's wreck shit with my sword. But I don't like the combat. I don't like the fact they changed it. But good God, is that game gorgeous.
It was very pretty Christian.
So good looking.
Hey, for PC,
PS4.
PS4.
Yeah, I think it's going to PC later, but they haven't announced when.
Is it similar to play as Fallen Order?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I mean,
It's
it's still
old.
got the hack and slash kind of.
What's that style of gaming of?
It's called like a Dark Soul.
Or
Fallen
those
Order
like
was a Dark Souls.
Devil May Cry style?
Is there no name for it though?
Those ones are hack and slashes.
Those are hack and slash?
Yeah.
This one is almost like a hack and slash, but with gauges.
Whatever.
It's got a
yeah.
name. That style of games there. But yeah, no, it's
Okay, we're gonna call it there. Thanks.
good ending.
It's something different than what we originally ended on. All right, I'm probably gonna end it what we
Cut.
ended on. All right.
On video games?
We'll probably end it there.
Just
the
gonna go
video
hang out
games
with my
instead of-
cousins.
The incest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're probably gonna cut all that stuff out.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
All right. We'll
Bye.
talk to you next time. Bye, guys.